Hello darlings, welcome back to Dining Through the Decades. I have some very exciting news to share with you all to celebrate the beginning of the second season. I have finally launched some merch. So I have these vintage darling mugs here, which are the same logo as my intro for my videos, and they come in lots of different colors. It just means so much that all of you lovely viewers enjoy watching my videos, and I just wanted to welcome all the new faces here. Hello, you all mean so much to me. Thank you for joining me for the second season of Dining Through the Decades. And if you are interested in buying one of these mugs, I'll make sure to link them in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. In this week's episode, we're going to be baking chocolate almond cake from the Australian Women's Weekly in 1948. This magazine has been around for a long time and is still very popular today. For the recipe that we're making today, it actually won second prize in Australian Women's Weekly for being the most cost-effective and delicious tasting recipe. I'm really excited to make this, so let's get on with it. Firstly, we're going to add in our caster sugar and our butter, and that is 4 ounces of each, or 113 grams for all the Australians out there. We're just going to cream this together, and then we're going to add in 3 egg yolks, one at a time. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to separate my egg yolks from my egg whites. And these are fresh eggs from the chickens today. Oh. Alright, now I'm just going to add the egg yolks in one at a time. Alright, now that we've done that, we can put that aside and we're going to melt some chocolate and hot water together. Okay, I've got my double boiler here and I've got some water in the bottom, and I'm just going to turn on the stove. We're going to melt some dark chocolate in the top with some hot water. So we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of hot water. And then 4 ounces of dark chocolate. Some for the pot, some for me. The chocolate's going to take a little bit to melt, but once that's all melted, we can then add that in and fold that through the butter, sugar, and egg mixture. God, it looks like chocolate fudge now. I think this has happened to me before. When you heat chocolate at somewhat of a high temperature, it kind of turns into fudge, and it doesn't actually melt into a runny chocolate. I should maybe do it again, but I don't have enough dark chocolate, so we're just going to be putting chocolate fudge into the cake, and I think it'll turn out alright. It'll still taste like chocolate. It's not burnt. It'll do. We're going to let that cool for the moment, and we're going to move on to the main mixture. So we're going to add in some self-raising flour and some almond meal and some vanilla. And we're folding this together. I'm just going to put this to the side now, and we're going to stiffly beat the egg whites, and then we can put that into here. Okay, I'm just going to stiffly beat these egg whites now. Gonna test it. It's not quite stiff yet, the peaks do still fall over, so a little bit longer. Alright, that's ready now, and we can fold that into the mixture. Okay, right now add your fudge into, into the mixture. We'll make it work. And then I'm just gonna mix that so it's all even in consistency, and then I'll put in the egg whites. Now that the chocolate's all mixed through the egg mixture, we can then add in our egg whites and gently fold that through, because we don't want it to be too well mixed, because then the cake won't rise. So just gently folding through. And all folding means is just a very gentle stir, and you just kind of turn over the mixture and then go through again and gently turn it over. I hope the cake's gonna turn out well. I kind of muddled the recipe up by heating the chocolate too high, and it didn't melt. It kind of turned into a fudge. So I hope the end result turns out well. My strong suit is not baking. I much prefer savory cooking, so we'll see how it goes, but it smells really good, and it sounds like a really delicious recipe, adding almond meal and chocolate together. So I'm excited. Okay, this is all mixed through, and we can put this into our greased cake tin now. I'm greasing the cake tin now. I only have this bundt pan. I don't actually have a round cake tin that's big enough for this cake. So we'll use this, and it makes a pretty cake anyway, so I'm not complaining. This feels like a two-person job because the bowl's so heavy. I'm just going to smooth it over the top, and then we can put it in the oven. And I've preheated the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. So while the cake's in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour, we can get started on the icing. But something that I realized as I was collecting my ingredients was I saw the grater on the bench that I'd left out to grate the chocolate before melting it. So, what did I say about me not being very good at baking? I obviously overlooked that it said grated chocolate. I was organized beforehand, but I didn't seem to follow through. But anyway, it's done now. Let's get on with making the icing. So I've got 4 ounces of icing sugar here, and I'm going to add in a tablespoon of cocoa and 1 to 2 tablespoons of hot water. And just mix that together. icing's all done now, and I'm just going to set that aside until the cake's ready. Alright, the cake's done. We can now take it out of the oven and have a look. Right, I've got my little cake tester here. Came out clean, so I think it's done. Just gonna stick the knife in the side, give it a wiggle around to make sure that it's not stuck. Alright, now I'm gonna flip it out onto the cake rack. Oh my gosh. Oh my. That was very aggressive. Aw, cute little cake. Cute little bundt cake. Ooh, nice and spongy. I've got my icing here, and I also have some sliced up almonds that I thought would be a nice addition to the almond chocolate cake. So you're meant to wait. I'm just a rule breaker again. The recipe says you need to wait to let the cake cool before you put the icing on, but I think I'll let it cool for a couple of minutes and then I'll put it on a plate, put the icing on, and then decorate it with some almonds. Okay, I'm going to very unprofessionally, now that the cake's a little bit cooler, lift it up and hope that it doesn't break. Okay, and then transfer it. We've got our cake here and it looks lovely. And I've got the chocolate icing that I made earlier and it's set very much so. So I'm gonna try and drizzle it over and it's gonna melt a little bit anyway. Actually, I don't know whether I can drizzle this. I'll get out a knife and spread it over the top if it doesn't melt all the way. And then we'll sprinkle some almonds on it. So yes, it is melting. It kind of looks nice that way, with a little drizzle down the side. I think it could even be nice to toast this and have some toasted almonds. And there we go. This is our chocolate almond bundt cake. I'm ready to cut into the cake. It's a little mini cake. Next time I might double the recipe. And next time I'll actually melt the chocolate. And grate it, for that matter. Alright, I have two little pieces here. They look pretty dense, but also moist at the same time. The first taste test. It's really crispy on the outside and really soft in the inside, and the icing's really good too. That middle bit, it tastes like I'm eating, what are those cakes called? Lava cakes. But it's not completely melted. It's just so nice and warm and soft. You have to try this, James. It's really good. Cameraman, time out. You have to try the chocolate cake. What do you think? just the middle bit.
Definitely worth waiting for. Delicious.
It's rich. I don't know how we're going to get through the whole cake. That was how to make chocolate almond cake from 1948. It was absolutely delicious. James and I both really loved it. I'll leave the link in the description box below so you guys can make it too if you'd like. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday for the second episode of Dining Through the Decades. Bye! I'm gonna melt some hot chocolate and hot water. Hot chocolate, oh my gosh! Oh, James, what one do you want? A spoon or a fork? And you start using some other words like, that's marvelous. That is scrumdiddlyumptious. Wow!
How does it taste?